The World Economic Forum has opened in Davos, Switzerland, for its first in-person meeting in over 2 years. Political and business leaders are gathering to discuss the most pressing challenges for the global economy. Our business editor, Kate Moody, is there for us. Kate, tell us what's on the agenda this week.
Well, Haxie, this meeting was initially scheduled for January. It was pushed back because of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. And anyone used to those January meetings of the World Economic Forum might be a little surprised, missing that snowy backdrop that we usually have back there. Temperatures are a little bit more mild, although we've got some rain scheduled for later in the week. In the months since that January meeting had been scheduled, though, of course, the entire political and economic landscape has changed entirely because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And the official theme here for Davos 2022 is now history at a turning point. Many countries around the world are now facing a food crisis, energy insecurity. Inflation was already high because of the pandemic, but it's now soared still further, topping 8% in the US, just about 7.5% in the Eurozone. Issues like climate change, inequality, and innovation are still on the official agenda here, but they have been entirely overshadowed. And even the pandemic is now very, very much second to the war in Ukraine on the agenda.
So the war in Ukraine very much dominating proceedings in Davos, and actually a lot of Ukrainian representatives are going to be addressing the forum this week.
Yeah, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky will be delivering the first keynote address of the forum. That'll be taking place in just under 2 hours' time. His foreign minister will be delivering remarks via video again later in the day, as will the mayor of Kyiv. That's a discussion that's been billed, a conversation with the Klitschko brothers. 5 members of the Ukrainian parliament spoke to the media on Sunday evening. Some quite passionate remarks from them, thanking foreign journalists for the work that they're doing in Ukraine, saying that Vladimir Putin, in their opinion, is attacking not just Ukraine, but the entire world order that the World Economic Forum usually represents. So it is officially the #1 topic here. Symbolically, too, that war is looming large. On the main street of this small Swiss town, businesses and government institutions usually take over the shop fronts to use as their headquarters for discussions or parties throughout the week. One building has for years been dubbed the Russia House, hosting investment meetings and social events. This year, it has very visibly been rebranded as the Russia War Crimes House. We've got some pictures that we can show you, I think, there. It's being run by a Ukrainian nonprofit organization, which says it's hoping to use that space to put a spotlight on the destruction and suffering that Russian troops are continuing to wreak across the country. The World Economic Forum did officially freeze ties with Russia back in March, and for the first time since the fall of communism, there are no Russian representatives taking part in this week's proceedings.
And there is, of course, Kate, a lot of money sloshing around where you are right now. That is Oxfam puts out a new report about growing inequality around the world.
Yeah, Oxfam does traditionally publish a new study on the first day of the World Economic Forum to really highlight that inequality. This year, its numbers really do pack a punch. It says that 537 people became billionaires over the 2 years of the pandemic, and that meanwhile 260 million could be pushed into extreme poverty just this year alone. It amounts to about 1 new billionaire every 30 hours and 1 million people falling into that extreme poverty in that same pace. It's partly because of the effects of the pandemic, but also that food insecurity and inflation that have really worsened since Russia invaded Ukraine. In particular, Oxfam highlights the 62 new billionaires in the agro-food sector, which it says have been reaping the benefits of those high prices. Oxfam calling that inequality unacceptable and pushing for more global momentum on a tax against that wealth.
Kate Moody, thank you very much for joining us live there from Davos, Switzerland. Kate Moody, who'll be covering the World Economic Forum for us over the next few days there.